today, Charts Today comes to you from Singapore, and I'm delighted to be here for a few days seeing clients. Singapore actually surpassed Hong Kong to become the third biggest financial trading centre in the world after New York and London, and it's great to be here, and I'm looking forward to running through the charts with you shortly. So I'm back at my desk, having been out for a walk in Singapore this morning. It's Tuesday, the 21st of February, and we're seeing quite a lot of red on the screen today. US markets were closed yesterday for President's Day, of course, and we are seeing the futures down about 1% for stocks in the US. So consequently, quite a bit of red on the screen. Quite a lot going on in energy as well. We saw German power breaking down, emissions touching that 100 mark. And in fact, we put a special report out to clients this morning on just how high can carbon go with all the trends and targets there. And there's one number in particular for clients that we've given that is really now very clear as a target for the carbon price. So that's out in that special report. You'll find it here in your Updata Energy News. And we, as we say, we give the targets for the short term, medium term, and long term. And we'll take a look at the charts as well in this session. And of course, we do that long term, medium term, and short term analysis. So that gives us a view of what's going to happen in months, weeks, and days. So we're seeing here that the dollar has bounced on that long-term cloud. So looking quite interesting there, that we're just seeing a bit of a recovery. That 100 level was just really a touch too far, and we are still bearish medium term, but the bullish trend is still there long term. So the dollar is looking a little bit better on the short-term charts. Again, targets here to 105, 109 on the short term. That means that the euro is falling against the dollar, so that's quite significant, just falling back, having hit resistance on the cloud. Still bullish on that medium term, but we're just seeing now some short-term targets to the downside. And if we look at sterling, we're just holding that 120 level, so that's quite key as well. And back above the 113 level against the euro, so that's actually looking a little bit better, but has been a steady decline. Now, Bitcoin did get above that 25,000 level, just nudged that level, but just couldn't hold it. So that is looking like quite a good resistance level. We do have a new target to 31,000 there, 30,100. So that's really significant, and we'll get a new target to the upside here. Of course, long term we're still bearish, but medium term we are seeing Bitcoin rising again. So that's really very interesting. And we talked about the markets. We're seeing the futures down 0.7% on the E-mini S&P, and down just under 1% on the NASDAQ, just nudging new lows there. Got a lot of geopolitical risks going on with the war in Ukraine, of course, and certainly China's potential involvement. That's starting to just worry markets a little bit. So it is interesting that we're just seeing these things coming to the fore. But of course, we are in a medium-term bear trend, a medium-term bull trend, but the longer-term trend has been bearish, really ever since we fell through that sort of 13,000 mark on the NASDAQ, and tech stocks pushing lower with downside targets. So really very interesting. Are we setting up for another move off a lower high? And that's what we've really got to watch for. The FTSE did break the 8,000 level, making a new all-time high. The FTSE future down 0.25% this morning, just pulling back. We do have targets to the upside there as well, so that's really very interesting. And the DAX in Germany down 0.6% as well. So markets taking their lead mostly from the US. The Hang Seng actually hit quite heavily, down 1.7%. And if we look at the Shanghai Composite, that actually is outperforming at the moment, just nudging this cloud resistance with upside targets. So China looking better there, the Shanghai. The Sensex in India, little changed. So that's quite interesting. And the Aussie market down 0.2%. So again, little change there, was really closing before the US was painting some numbers. So that's quite key. Looking at gold, we're struggling at this 1830 level, 1835. We are still bullish in the medium term. We're just pulling back here, and we do have a mixture of targets there. A new upside target at 1890, 3% higher. If we can break above 1850, that will be activated. So that's really what we're watching for. And if we look at US 10 yields, they're edging higher, sitting at 3.85%, and this target of nearly 9% still hanging over us. So the big question for inflation in the US market is, will we see these yields going much higher? Watch for a new high there. Looking at the energy mix now, so we talked about German power. This is the EEX data, really quite key there. If you're trading German power, you really do need to be looking at these targets, and don't forget to vary the box sizes here. So this breakdown that we saw through that support level, these targets, look at that, these targets given back in early February, 153, 153, 154, 151, 152, and guess what? That's where we've got to. You cannot ignore the targets. Whatever you do, do not ignore the targets. So looking back to the start of the energy mix, we'll look at Brent crude, down 1.2%. We were neutral this morning. We've got mixed targets here. We do have this triangle potential and watching for a breakout of that as well. And if we look at US nat gas sitting at 225, that's gone lower, so not looking great there. We're just really we're stuck between this 240 and 220 level, and that's what we've told clients this morning. We do have some upside targets into the high 220s on the 1 minute chart. Again, if you're trading US nat gas, you need to be looking at those 1 minute targets. And of course, emissions, we put the special report out this morning. How high can emissions go? There's a cluster of targets pointing to a level on carbon emissions. You'll see it in that report. It's really, really very clear. Several targets all pointing to the same price area, quite a bit higher from where we are now, and so just look at that in your report. We put it all there for you to digest with all the charts arguing the point, and it's looking pretty clear now for emissions that that's where we're going to go. Looking at gas prices, we're down, TTF down 2.2% this morning, so that's really significant. We're seeing that move there, and if we look at MBP, we're down 1.4%, so again just nudging new lows there. We're still bearish on those markets. So interestingly, we're seeing gas and power down. We're seeing emissions they've just fallen back from that 100 mark, but we do have targets short term, not that far away, but the medium term targets are all pointing to that same level on emissions, as really, really all things are aligning there. So really one to watch. Just remember, read that report. It has all the trends and price targets there for you with a summary at the end. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. Bye for now.